the Chicago Bulls have taken a 1-point lead with 2.5 left.
Are you kidding? I am really sick. I asked Chip Shaver, the trainer. He said he's exhausted, totally dehydrated, and a little bit out of it. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, I'm told by the Jazz players that Jerry Sloan really threw a tirade at halftime, screaming at them, unhappy that they were up 16 and then lost the lead. Said we need more defense, transition, keep them off the boards. Says we match the aggression and intensity of Pippen and Jordan. That's why they're going to the foul line.
Russell eluding Pippen. Rodman very active here in the third quarter.
And the Jazz not able to get to their offensive glass. Ostertag was great. Karl Malone's got the 3 fouls. Has to play very smart here.
Nice pass. Jordan to the cutting Longley. And the Utah lead is down to 2.
Oh, the best job by Luke Longley all series long of moving without the ball. When the double team comes, finding that lane, finding the open seam, and finishing.
Hopper his third.
Karl Malone coming to double team, and Rodman just did a good enough job of getting in the way of Greg Foster.
Yes, Howard Isley has checked back in, replacing John Stockton. They double up on Hornacek, who's able to find Ostertag. Back for Hornacek. That time mistimed by Ostertag, looking for the tip. Chicago down by 2. Jordan got the step. Jordan has tied the game at 63. 2-2 position in the NBA Finals just once during their previous 4 title runs. That was back in '92 against Portland. And they went out to beat the Blazers 4 games to 2. That was their second of 4 times. It is 2-2 right now in this game number 5 as Michael Jordan cuts it to a 5-point Jazz lead. Chris Mars back on the floor, had some good moments. Not there, though. Coming up short.
But he's willing to take shots. And right now, some of these guys from Utah are tightening up a bit. How long are you going to go with Karl Malone on the bench? He's looking up at Jerry Sloan and saying, put me in there, coach.
Malone playing with 4 fouls. So he's been sitting here at the start of the 4th quarter. Antoine Carr. And here is Chris Mars.
and that'll buy Karl Malone another 30 seconds or another minute of rest. Time and score will dictate when Karl Malone comes back in.
Chris Mars with 11 points off the bench. Jordan, yes, the Jazz 77 and the Bulls 71 with 2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter.
You're talking about him leaving Marvin, not playing anymore. He's having the time of his life out there.
Well, we talked about that with him the other day, and I said, could you actually sit out next year? He claimed he could. Whether he's just positioning, we don't know. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan pops it down to Kukoc. Kukoc for 3. Yes.
Well, of course, this is not as much fun as baseball. No way.
The Jazz leading by 3.
Well, Tony Kukoc might as well only take 3-point shots. That's all he's made in the last 2 games for Chicago.
Ball's pass broken up. And Pippen able to come up with it on the deflection. Jordan fires for 3. Yes. And he's tied the game at 77. Chicago can recapture the lead. Utah has led by as many as 16. The Bulls at 1 point, led by 1. Russell on Jordan. Anderson cheating over. Shot clock at 7. Jordan shooting. Yes. Chicago 79 and Utah 77.
It was his burst of speed to get to the position that set it all up, and then he just outweighted Russell facial. Where's Karl Malone?
All played by Williams. Go defense for the first time against the Bulls.
Well, here's this cut across by Michael, getting open, wants to really drive, but not a good enough spacing by the rest of the Chicago Bulls, but just that little shake was able to get Brian Russell on his heels.
We're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth. The game tied at 81. Malone played by Rodman and double team. Pippen knocked it aside. Picked up, recovered though. Stockton for three. Same exact spot that he hit that enormous three-pointer in game 4. And he just did it with 2 on the shot clock. 3-point Jazz lead. Bulls have missed their last 6 shots. Jordan, yes. But Jazz by 1 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
All game long, Russell forces him left, and then he gives up an easy right-hander. Jordan is too good to allow him into the middle of the lane.
Malone backing Rodman. And a foul against the Bulls, and they're upset. That is number 6 on Dennis Rodman.
Well, the Chicago Bulls defense doing a good job of cutting off Ostertag on that cut to the basket when Longley goes to for the double team. Here, the loose ball, the scramble, everybody diving around, and John Stockton calmly, with just 1 second left on the shot clock, with the huge 3, and Michael Jordan on the move, beating Russell to the right, hanging in the air, and finishing that shot off.
And then Karl Malone in the paint, the fadeaway on the arm, clearly by Dennis Rodman, forcing the shot to be short. And now Karl Malone again at the line with everything to be determined with these 2 foul shots.
Malone is 4 of 7 at the line. You see the stats on Rodman in 23 minutes, 7 or 8 bounds, only 1 field goal, 2 points. He's been replaced by Tony Kukoc.
That's that lack of discipline we were talking about early in the game with Dennis Rodman when he picked up a couple of cheap fouls. If you get Karl Malone to take that fadeaway shot, you have to be happy. Just go up and challenge it. You never want to foul on that shot.
Utah with a 2-point lead. 2:25 remaining in the fourth. The chant of MVP for Karl Malone. Oh, he barely caught the left side of the rim.
Well, fading back and falling back, but he did that the other night and still made one.
Karl Malone's guarding Tony Kukoc. This is a very difficult matchup for him. Tony, incredibly smart.
Shot clock at 5, and a foul called on the Jazz. It's on Hornacek. Team foul number 5 for Utah. So both teams are now over the foul limit. And Scottie Pippen back to the line. He's 6 of 7 at the line, and he has an opportunity to tie the game. Chicago's now 18 of 26 at the line. So they will certainly have their chances as opposed to the other night. Kukoc able to rescue.
Come back to Jordan. He's clapping for it.
Chicago trailing by 1. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. A minute 40 remaining in the fourth. The Jazz with a 1-point lead. Hornacek at the step. Stockton for 3. And faced down by Russell. They get the new 24. And Stockton checking with Jerry Sloan. Utah good shape in terms of timeouts. 3 and a 20 remaining. Shot clock at 10. Here's Malone stepping back for the fadeaway. Bad shot that is handled by Pippen. There was plenty of time on the 24.
And Phil Jackson calling for a pick and roll. Obviously, Michael Jordan
Here's Longley with the pick. There's Jordan. Foul. Hit on a reach-in, and you can just look at the body language on Michael Jordan. You get the idea he's having difficulty just standing up.
But Ostertag saves the day here as the defense broke down. Karl Malone with plenty of time on the shot clock. He can beat Luke Longley. He's fading away there. He's fading on his baseline shot from down low. He's fading on his free throws. Utah needs a timeout. Jerry Sloan needs to tell Karl Malone to go to the hoop.
The Bulls 84. Jordan, an 83% free throw shooter during the season. And the game is tied at 85.
Marv, the Bulls have been here so many times. The huge games, year after year. The confidence, the poise, the determination, the discipline and organization down the stretch, all paying off right now with Jordan masterfully at the line.
Jordan able to scoop up the loose ball for the possession with 40 seconds remaining. The game tied at 85. On the shot clock. Pippen backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan from straight away. He looks like he's a boxer just hanging on along the ropes, but able to hit for a three-point Chicago lead. Beautiful feed. Ostertag cuts it to 1.
You got a foul right now. You got a foul. Karl Malone, what are you doing?
We're down to 10 seconds.
You got a foul.
As they open the floor. Longley able to put it home from Tony Kukoc. 3-point Chicago lead with 6 2/10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
That's hard to believe that you can lose track of time and score as Karl Malone did there right next to Pippen. He does have 5 fouls. No excuse. Should have committed one there.
Michael Jordan playing on heart and spirit. The missed free throw here. Everybody's standing there. And then the furthest guy from the ball, Michael Jordan, comes up with it. And then he backs it out. They post up Scotty. And then for no reason, they double team Scotty down low and leaving Michael Jordan. He knocks down this three, gives him the huge lead. And then the total exhaustion on the bench. Michael Jordan sucking air, got the back massage from Scottie Pippen. I think Chicago just fouls right here, makes it a free throw game the rest of the way.
Down to 6 2/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's the three-point attempt. Now Stockton trying to back it up. And we get a whistle of 0.2 of a second remaining. Now both teams are over the limit. And the foul is called on the Bulls. So Utah to the line. Foul on Pippen. And the strategy here is obvious. The Bulls up by 3. You got to hit the first and purposely miss the second and hope for the best.
And you can't score on a tip. And I was thinking Chicago would foul on the inbounds pass to give up the free throws rather than give Stockton or Hornacek or Russell a look at a three-pointer.
I think you got to come with Ostertag, the height here, to tip over the top on a miss. There's no need to have Hornacek in it.
Hornacek only 2 of 11 from the field. He had that three-point opportunity going for the tie. Both coaches making decisions now. John Stockton to the line, but only 0.2 of a second remaining.
There will be no catch and shoot follow-up. First of all, John Stockton has to make the first one to give Utah any kind of chance at all, but you can score on a tip.
Positioning at the line after this first free throw will be critical. But John Stockton not able to hit, and that will do it because they're 3 points down. And now he hits the second. 0.2 of a second remaining. The inbounds, and the Chicago Bulls have defeated the Utah Jazz to take a 3-2 lead. They win it 90-88. A courageous, classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan. A performance that I think will go down as one of the greatest of his career because of the situation.